issue of hijab. And I put these student nurses in the picture deliberately because every day I get complaints from nurses in various government health facilities complaining that their supervisors and senior nursing officers ask them to remove the hijab. Otherwise, they should go home. They cannot work at nurses. Now, I want to look straight into the cameras and say something. It is very, very important. We all operate under the 1992, or even if you want, the 4th Republican Constitution. And I want nursing officers, midwives, supervisors of hospitals across the country to listen to me and listen good. That we are all subject to the 4th Republican Constitution. And Article 21, Clause 1C, states that every citizen of Ghana shall have the right to profess the religion of his or her choice, and quote, and the operative word, and to manifest it. And I want to emphasize the word manifest. Now, I want these nursing supervisors and so on to tell me how else you can identify a Muslim woman. How else a Muslim woman can manifest, for want of a better term, her Islamness, if there's anything like that. How else? How else is she going to manifest it? How do we identify a soldier who is not in uniform? How do we identify an immigration officer? We call somebody an immigration officer simply because he's in uniform. It's as simple as that. We call somebody a policeman because he's in uniform. Once he throws the uniform away, you are unable to tell who he is. Are you following me? So, whilst it is not a symbol of piety, it is a symbol of identity. And identity is manifestation. And the Constitution says they have the right to manifest. Now, the Health Ministry and the Ghana Health Service almost every year keeps issuing statements and reminders to the supervisors that they cannot prevent Muslim nurses from wearing their hijab. But some still keep doing it. Several weeks ago, I had to go to the Mamobi hospital myself to resolve one such issue. Then I got the Director of Health Services, National Director, Dr. Nsiasari, at that time to issue a statement. Those who saw it on social media, that statement that was issued was under my instigation because I said, look, issue a fresh statement. And he did and sent me a copy. Then, just on Sunday, I got another complaint from a lady who works with the psychiatric hospital, Accra Psychiatric Hospital, that she has actually been demoted. She's a ward supervisor. And the Deputy Director of Nursing Services at Accra Psychiatric Hospital saw her in hijab and said, why are you wearing a hijab? You can't wear a hijab here. If you want, go and work in an Islamic hospital. I feel very offended by that statement. Personally offended. The president is very uncompromising as far as the integration of our society is concerned. As far as our society is concerned. He says that there should be no discrimination on the basis of age, of gender, of religion, of everything. And so this girl was demoted. She went to her demotion point and still wore the hijab. They still followed her to her demotion point and insisted that she should remove the hijab. And now, look, they proceeded to write a letter and they documented. It's here. They wrote this to her. Accra Psychiatric Hospital, memo, nursing administration to Adiza to Ibrahim. And now listen, they tell her, on the set date, you were in a hijab. And the Deputy Director of Nursing Services wanted to be sure you were aware of the consequences of wearing a hijab. Are there consequences in our country for wearing a hijab? And then he goes out to say that it is because they are working in a mental health facility and people who are mentally unstable pull the hijab. And listen, she says, yes, she says, at a psychiatric hospital, since she says a number of female staff had been injured by patients who were able to get hold of either, and now she doesn't list hijab, she says to get hold of either the hair or the clothing. So then all mental health facility working women should shave. Because you stated here that sometimes the mental health patients, they get hold of the women's hair, their wig and so on. But you said that she should remove the hijab and leave the wig. But you have stated here in your own letter, seeking to punish her. And you even didn't say veil, you said clothing. Actually, they should be walking naked. And then he says, however, as stated earlier, your safety is paramount, and you continue to use the hijab at the hospital at your own risk. And follows it with another one. Despite the caution of wearing the hijab, you continue to put it on at the ward. Blah, 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 blah. So yesterday, I called the Director of Health Services, Dr. Nsiasari. And then my personal assistant came to report to me that the woman has gone back, and the Director of Nursing Services, Deputy Director of Nursing Services, tells her that they are not under the Ghana Health Service, and that they are under another group called Mental Health Authority. I said, no problem. So I called and found out who is head of Mental Health Authority. And they said one Dr. Akwesi Osei. And again, let me commend Dr. Akwesi Osei very highly. And I told him this morning that I'll mention him in this press briefing. Yes, this morning he went to the facility and has ensured that the girl has been restored to her former position and she's going to continue to wear the hijab. So I just thought that I should add it as a subject for today because we are live on television across the country, so that people know that in this country we cannot discriminate against people on the basis of their belief or their ethnicity or their gender or their age or their political party affiliation or whatever. I want people to know. And I want people to know that the president has given me a mandate to protect the interests of Zongo people if those interests are trampled upon. And I'm going to fight for those interests the last breath of my life. Let's go. Oh, anyway, this is the letter that's in here. Let's go on. Okay, we've come to the end. So I have this quotation to end. The secret of success is constancy of purpose. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. 1,080 Zongo communities, not counting inner cities. That's a long journey to travel. It's not going to take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to bring transformation to 1,080 communities. But I'm looking at you directly in the eyes, inner city and Zongo people who are watching me, and making a commitment on behalf of the president that he's committed to reaching every single one of you wherever you are. Even if it is a task he doesn't complete in 8 years. Because this president will be president for 8 years. It is a transformation agenda that we believe will be sustained, whoever comes after the 8 years after Akufo-Addo. But on our part, we are guided by the fact that the secret of success is constancy of purpose. We are going to stay constant on the trajectory that we have taken, and we shall not waver. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Sheikh. You never disappoint. That was a rather passionate presentation, and I found it very exceptional. I know beyond that, with media men and women in the house, they may definitely want some other issues addressed or some more information on other things that may not have been mentioned here. But before then, if you can give me the opportunity to acknowledge a few persons from the ministry or their agencies who are here with us and who may be also available to answer some of the questions posed at the ministry. We have Mrs. Gifty B. Mahama, the Chief Director of the ministry. We have Director PPME, Muhammad Al-Hassan. We have the CEO of the Zongo Development Fund, Al-Haji Muhammad Baba Al-Hassan, and his deputy, Al-Haji Yakubu Baba Sadiq, for operations, and deputy for FNA, Mrs. Aisha Salifu. Okay. We also have some traditional rulers in our midst. President of the Inner City Development Council, Ahmed Ni Nate, the president, with Nime Name. And whilst we were at it, and whilst Sheikh was in his elements, my Honorable Minister for Information walked in, the Honorable Kojo Oponkoma, an MP for Ofuasia Yebi. So going back to it, I have quite a number of media houses registered here, and to give everyone the opportunity, we may have to start by taking one question each for starters, and when when the list is exhausted and there's more time, we'll be able to go for another round for extra questions if there are any. So when I mention the name of your organization and you have a question for the ministry, you come up front to the microphone to my right, and then you mention your name, your media house, and then your question follows. Because of the issue of time, we would rather you go straight to the point when you have a question, no long stories. You'd only want the minister to answer your question. And also because of time, if you're already in the line and your question has already been asked by one media person, please do us the favor of not taking the opportunity to only repeat a question that has been asked already. Thank you. So we have Daily Graphic, number one, Daily Graphic, GBC Radio, The Finder. Any question from you? We have ISD, Ghanaian Times, Daily Statesman, Daily Searchlight. Then Ghana Web, City TV FM, Maraba. We have GNA, Chronicle, Metro TV, EBN TV, Joy News, Accra FM, Radio Gold, Daily Guide. ABC News, UTV, My Joy Online, Kasapa. Sorry? So, sir, your name, your media house, and then your question in brief.
Thank you so much. My name is Philip Nilate. I work with City TV and FM. Before I ask my question, I would like to say that the sounds went off, and per our job, we have to report to our various radio stations. So next time, we should fix the sounds as soon as possible when we have problems with it, because it lasted for like 30 to 45 minutes, and the minister said great things that we can't send to our various radio stations. Secondly, with the issues of AstroTurf, the minister made mention of great issues concerning what is happening right now. I just want to ask why the facility is not in use now, and when it's going to be completed. Is there any timeline? Because people in the various Zongo communities and also the inner cities are wishing to use this particular facility. So any timeline as to when it's going to be completed, what is in it from use as of now? Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Eugenia and I work with Metro TV. In the minister's presentation, we didn't hear anything about security, so I'd like to find out what the ministry is doing to strengthen community-based security systems and to combat or reduce crime. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Atamen Sangodo from Ghana News Agency. I want to add up to what my brother from City said. If the minister could put amount they have spent so far on the AstroTurf and the green parts, if we could put cost to those projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Ernest Mino. I work with Joy News. I'd want to know, is there a special arrangement with the security agencies or our ministries in charge of security for our Zongos? And I ask this question, looking at what the gruesome murder of our brother, Swale, and the incident recorded last year at Asawase. Is the ministry doing something special as far as security is concerned for our Zongos? But you didn't tell us what happened to the authorities who frustrated the nurses. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Abubakar. I work with my Joy Online. I want the minister to address the question of the Mansung Kwanta committee report. The people have said that they want the report published. So I would want to know what the latest is on that report and whether the recommendations of the committee will be implemented. Thank you.
My name is Imam Mohammed Salisu Suleimana. I am a program host on Marhaba FM. I speak for Independence Communicators team. When the minister was speaking, he mentioned Arabic instructors. And I have a group of people who came to me. They said they were also part of people who are recruited to teach Arabic in various schools, Makaranta. But for the past let's say the time they were giving the appointments till date, they were not paid. And they formed an association and they want to demonstrate. Particularly if you want to, you go to Ga East, Abokobi area, you have to take this as a serious matter because they want to demonstrate and they don't know why they were given appointments and yet they were not paid. So they came to me as one of the teachers. I teach in Makaranta also. So, Minister, you have to, I don't know whether it is under the ministry or it is under the Zongo Development Authority. Either way, you have to look at the matter and see to it that these people are sorted out. They have formed an association of Arabic instructors in the district, municipality, and they want to demonstrate. So the minister, the second question.
No, thank you, sir. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay. The AstroTurfs, in terms of just the turf, is complete. Actually, the the community can go on the turf and play football or do whatever has to be done. But for many of them, we did what we call additional works. We asked that there should be changing rooms, there should be additional spectator stands, children's playground, basketball courts. So all of those, and the contractor has started work on the additions, which are not complete as we speak. So until those are complete, we want it to be complete in, if you want, a complete sense of the word. And then we can hand it over. As to timeline, quite frankly, I don't want to give a timeline that I will miss, because I am not entirely, if you want, in charge of the process that will ensure payment to the contractor. And I'm sure you know about the history of payments to contractors in our country, whether from roads or works and housing or whatever. But we are pushing very hard to ensure that some money that is due the contractor is paid to him to enable him to complete to complete it and hand it over. But give and take, I'm not sure that it should go beyond a couple of months. I mean, you know that the minister is always desirous of commissioning such projects as credit to the work that we do. So we are very desirous of ensuring that it is complete. Cost. Not all astroturfs cost the same, because it depends on the facilities in each of the astroturfs. But a normal astroturf should range, an astroturf should range between something like something close to 3 million cedis all the way to 4 million, depending on whether there are basketball courts, changing rooms, how many. If it's 2,000, Wally to through Fadama to Andes Park, we but governmental, the financial management systems are in place to ensure that at the end of the day, those records are available for the auditors to do the work. Now, security. Yes, communities, but the mandate for security in our country is the police. In other words, those who have the mandate to ensure the security of our state is the police. So all we do is collaborate with the police to show them areas within our domain that need beefing up security and etc., for it to be done. On our part, what we are doing is also part of ensuring that there is better security and a reduction of crime. Because if you are training the young people, training the women, giving them a livelihood, you know, as they say, is the devil finds work for idle hands. And most of the time, these people are available to go or to be used for committing crime because they are idle. They have nothing to do. So if we're empowering our communities, we are sure that that should help to bring the crime rate. The Monsoon Quanta report, of course, the question, are we committed to implementing its findings? Its findings are basically two, or even three. One, that the young men were not, or that there was no evidence before the committee to say that these young men were armed robbers. We've put that out. On the back of that, the committee recommended that a proper investigation be done and a docket prepared that will take the policemen who are involved to court. That is being done. That those policemen should be interdicted. The authorities have informed us that they are under interdiction. So basically, then the government goes the extra mile of announcing a compensation package of 250,000 Ghana cedis per family. You know, so times the 7, that's what you got, this 1.75 million Ghana cedis as compensation to the families of the people. Just last Saturday, I was in Kumasi to sit with the elders of the community to negotiate how and who in the family should receive these monies, and to carve out a system that allows for their dependents to benefit absolutely from these payments. We don't want to be reckless and just throw checks at people and then let them go without ensuring that it really serves the purpose for which it was paid. This morning, the MCE for Asawasi, through the Ashanti Regional Minister, have informed me that now they have an agreed formula which they will send to me today. Once I get hold of that formula, I'll go to the Finance Minister and then we'll begin disbursements. So all of that is part of the matter. Payment to Arabic school teachers. Yes, of course. We are in arrears September to December. But May, June, July, August allowances have all been paid. So because of your question, I'll look through the cameras and appeal to them that we are working very hard to, once we get the returns from YEA, the thing is that it's YEA that does the payment. Youth employment, it's not, the ministry doesn't pay them directly. We go and get the funds and give it to YEA. They have a mechanism, the same mechanism that they are using to pay the youth employment people. Is based on that same software and mechanism they are paying the Arabic school teachers. So they have the mechanism. So the former minister signed a management contract with them to manage the process of payment. Are you following me? So once they give us returns, because I also need, at the end of the day, my work is going to be judged, not only by the president, by so many agencies, including the Auditor General. So I need evidence from them that those who were supposed to be paid, and then we move to the next stage. So once we get the returns from the ground, we will try, I'm in a hurry to clear those areas. Thank you.
Okay. Angel TV, GH1, Star FM, Oman FM, TV3, If anyone has any second question, this is the time. So you move up there, sir.
My name is Adnan Adams Mohammed. I report for Economy Times and the News Guide Africa. All right. My name is Adnan Adams Mohammed. I report for News Guide Africa and Economy Times newspaper. I'm also very passionate about the hijab issue. I've followed this hijab issue for a long time now, and also the discrimination of worship as well in the secondary schools. At psychiatric hospital, when I followed up this issue, I was told somewhere, I'm not doing religious comparison, but I'm just giving a reason to the basis that hijab spread infections. That is not true. Just the same place at Psychiatric Hospital. I was there last Friday. Somewhere last year, two Muslim Roman sisters were there to do their rotation, but they were allowed to wear their veils. That one didn't spread infections. But Muslims who wear the hijab and even tuck in the hijab in their uniform will spread infection. Then again, you have issues with what? CHAG, that is the Christian Health Associations of Ghana. They are also actually stopping Muslims for wearing the hijab in this the facilities that belongs to the Christians. Also another worrying situation. So please, if you can also put your eyes and then or talk to the church so that they can also allow the freedom of worship. Then also in the schools. Thank you.
Yes, I'm back again. My name is Imam Muhammad Salisu Suleimana. When the minister you were speaking, you mentioned about Togri in Zongo and Tagri. You said the president is bent on ending this phenomenon of where people think that if you want people who can go and cause problems, they go to Zongo to hire them. And you said the president is interested in ending this. But within, I had a question to ask you, but when you were presenting, you mentioned coded program. And it's supposed, I don't know something how I say, well, this may be the solution to the target in Zongo. But this code program, who are the target group in Zongo, for example? Because this issue of Zongo being used politically in land guard activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Dr. Sampabi. I report for NGOT. I think I will from the Honorable Dr. Mustafa Ahmed, what the government is doing to ensure that attention that have been given to the development of the recreational centers, such as the astroturfs, is given to the health sector, because the screening, the vans that have been given to them, they are temporary means. So what are you doing to ensure that their health concerns are also addressed? Thank you very much. Most of their problems are based on health.
And